Hi, I'm Daniel, and I will give you a quick tour of the Rapidose software. When you start up the software, the screen you see looks like this. Please notice the big icons on the screen. If you're working on a touch-enabled device, then you will see that working with Rapidose is just like operating a dedicated measurement solution. You do not need touch though to work with Rapidose. At the bottom of the screen you see the status of the connected USB detector. As you can see, presently I do not have one attached. But that doesn't matter. I can work with the data I have previously collected. Let's go ahead and load a measurement session into the application. All file-related actions can be accessed via the File menu. I want to open a Rapidose session file. And here it is. As you can see, we are in Measure View. Measure View gives you the numerical result values of single measurement along with a preview of the measurement wave. The session file we have just loaded contains 7 separate measurements. By clicking on up or down, I can navigate through the measurements in that session. Let's turn to the first measurement we have. Rapidose is able to collect a lot of information about your measurements. In fact, it's more information than we could display at once without losing focus. To be able to keep an eye on what is most important to you, you can filter the data you see by selecting Display Profiles. Display Profiles can be accessed here at the Display Profile bar. You can either navigate through the profiles by using the arrow buttons or by clicking on the profile name to get a list. In the general dose and dose rate profile you see KVP, exposure time, dose, dose rate, half value layer and pulse count. Let's switch to the pulse fluoro profile. What do we see? More information on our pulses. Average dose of pulse, typical pulse duration, and maximum pulse duration. If you'd like to capture what you see into an image file, the clipboard or printer, you can click the screen button anytime to make a screenshot. In Rapidose options, you may configure whether you want to save the capture to disk, the clipboard, or send it to a printer. Looking at the numbers is great, but many times it is a lot more exciting to have a close look at the signal's waveform. To get to the wave view, you can either click on the preview wave or click on the wave button at the top. I just can't help it. It's always interesting to look at the dose wave and kV wave for measurement. Rapidose is sampling its input data at 10 kHz, which gives you a nice representation of the signal. At the top bar, you still have the main result numbers in view. The y-axis scale can be found here, and the baseline for the y-axis can be found here. Also, there is the x-axis scale. As I move the cursor over the wave, I get more information about my data. So here at 19 milliseconds, I have a dose rate of 5.7 milligrays and 61.6 kilovolts. It's my second pulse in the signal, and I even get the dose of this pulse and the dose rate of this pulse. I like the second pulse, so let's have a close look. Drawing a frame allows you to zoom into the wave. When you have a pulse signal, then Rapidose has a nice feature to check your pulses. Clicking on either the right or the left side of the wave will bring the previous pulse or the following pulse into view. Now this makes it really easy to compare pulses. A click on zoom out brings us back the complete waveform. Sometimes you do not want all information in the wave. Let me jump to measurement number 7. I would like to hide the kV wave here. It's simple to do. I just click on the kV filter button and it's gone. If I want to hide the line for kVp, I can do this here too. Try yourself. Looking at the wave is really easy and powerful. By zooming in, panning, and using the cursor functions that are available. Up to now, we have been looking at single measurement data, but it's possible to have a look at all measurements in the session at once. A click on the list button takes us there. Here we have a table of all measurements in the session file we have opened earlier. I can go ahead and delete a measurement if I don't need it. Well, it's great to have all information at hand with Rapidose, but surely you will want to work on the data or produce some form of report. That's simple to achieve by the export function. Data export allows you to either export a list of all measurements or the selected measurement only. You also have the choice of formatting options and the destination for your data. Now, this isn't all List View has to offer. Clicking on the selection bar will allow me to change to Card View. Card View is a different way to display more of the numerical result values. At the top, you get the values for the sensors. Below you find more result values, and below that section the pulse results can be found. Let me select the first measurement. Here I had previously entered information about my measurement setup. And now let me tell you a little trick. When you collect data with the USB multimeter, enter the user information after completing the first measurement. If you check this option, the information you entered for this measurement will be copied subsequently to the others. This is just a small feature to have good documentation of your generator settings, tube settings, and overall setup. Since I have worked on the data I loaded into Rapidose, I want to make sure to keep my changes. Like I would do it in any other application, I will save the changes to a file. And actually, I want to keep the original file, so I will just save to a new file by clicking on File, Save As, and enter a name. I've shown you how to view measured data with Rapidose. But just how do you go about measuring new data? All you need to do is to plug in the USB multimeter and to wait for searing to complete. You can plug in the USB multimeter at any time. Data you collect is added to the current measurement session you might have loaded into Rapidose. I hope you've become curious to give Rapidose a try. Thanks for joining me for this quick tour.